gati gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guru paramam shishurasmi guru matirasti guru mama pahi guru Satchidanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tabatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranadah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare Achyudananda Govinda Madhava Satchidananda Narayana Hare Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare Sarvebhya Namaskaraha. We are seeing Canto 10 in SRIMAD BHAGAVADA Mahapurana, and we are seeing the different Leelas of Krishna. In my last video, we saw that Yashoda Devi, she tied little Krishna to the very big stone mortar and she went inside to do some work. And Krishna, he was dragging this mortar and going everywhere. And in their house, there were two big Arjuna trees. And he went in the space of those two trees. They were adjacent to each other. He went in the space of that two trees and he dragged the mortar, and that two big trees fell down. And from that, two celestial beings, they came out from it, and they ascended to heaven. And those two celestial beings were the two sons of the guardian of wealth, that is god of wealth, Kubera. By some curse of Narada, they became trees and they were released by the touch of the little Krishna. And when the trees fell down, it made very big sound. We know, no, it will make very big sound. So they made very big sound. So all the Gopas, Gopikas, everyone, they ran out and came outside. Yashoda Devi came out, and Nanda Gopa also came out. Again, they thought there were some attack by the Rakshasas, they thought. And they were talking like this, and Yashoda Devi called some Gopa boys and asked them, what happened? And they said, this Krishna, she went inside between that two trees, and because of that force, it fell down. And not only that, we saw two celestial beings coming out of those two trees, and they ascended to heaven. Like that, the two Gopa boys said. First, no one believed. How can a small child of 4 or 5 years old, how can he do that? So they did not believe. How can a small child drag this heavy mortar? So they believed and they did not believe. Anyway, they all went out inside to do their household work. Nanda Gopa, he laughed and untied the stone mortar from Krishna. And Krishna went back to play, and Yashoda Devi went inside to do her household work, and everyone dispersed like that. And some of the elder senior, that is senior Gopas, and Nanda Gopa also, they sat under a tree and discussed that, what is this? One after another, something or another is coming for Krishna. We do not know how far it is dangerous, how long will it go like this. So why not we shift from here to some other place so that the attack of the Ashuras may be less or they will not be there. So like this, they all discussed, and everyone unanimously accepted to this idea of a senior Gopa. Nanda Gopa also accepted to this idea. And they said, if you are prepared to go from here, then why not today itself? because in those times they won't have so many things with them to call movers and packers to pack all the things. They will have some small items, so they can put it in a cart and they can move anywhere easily, shift from one place to another place very easily. So they thought, why not today itself? So what they planned was, it must be like a procession. Let all that cows with their calves, they will go in front. Then next, all the cart with their belongings and elderly women and men. Then women with their children in their cart. And at last, the men will go. So we will go in a procession like this. And actually, the place where they were staying was in the Vraja. This place was called Brihadvana. So there is a nearby place called Vrindavana, where there are many green pastures and there is a Yamuna river also. So the cows are our wealth. So we can herd our cows and calves there, because there are so many green pastures, and there is also Govardhana hill. So it will be very good for us if we go there. It will be only good for us and our cows if we go there. Like this, they thought. And they all decided and said to their family, they were also very happy because it is going to do good for Krishna. So they all went in a procession. First, all the cows with their calves, they went. And after that, elderly people in their cart, along with their belongings. Then after that, women, children, and Yashoda Devi was having little Krishna on her lap, and Rohini Devi, Balarama on her lap, and along with their belongings, all the women and children, they went next. And after that, all this cowherd men. So they were going like this in a procession. They were also happy because they are going to a new place. They blew their cow horns, they blew their trumpet, drums, everything, and the women were singing songs glorifying all the leelas of little Krishna. And Krishna was also laughing like this, and Yashoda Devi was so happy. Rohini Devi was also so happy. So they all went like a procession and entered in Vrindavana. Vrindavana, they saw a very big hill, Govardhanagiri, and Yamuna river was running like this. And they were also happy. So what this Gopa first did was, they made the settlement. And they prepared their settlement. They built small huts like that, and they stayed there very happily. And Rama and Krishna, they were so happy to see so many scenery, very beautiful. This place, Vrindavana, is more beautiful than Gokula. Gokula was a little bit dry place, but here they have so many green pastures for the cows, so they were also happy. So days went on like this. One day, Krishna, Rama, and all those cowhead children, they were playing on the banks of river Yamuna, and they had so many playing articles with them. That catapults, and of course, Krishna carried flute, and small playthings like this. So they were throwing all these playthings at one another, and they were so happy. At that time, they were herding the calves also. At that time, the practice of this community is, the small children, they will herd the calves, and the big senior gopas, they will herd the cow. So that was the practice there. So Krishna, along with Rama and all the calves, they're there on the banks of river Yamuna. At that time, in between that, the calf, a calf was staring at Krishna. It was staring at Krishna, but Krishna pretended as if he didn't see it, and slowly it came near. Actually, it was an Ashura. His name was Bakasura, and he wanted to kill Krishna. That's for that purpose only he came. And he saw Krishna. When he came near, in the form of calf only, when the calf came near, Krishna held its tail and the hind legs, and that hurled him round and put him, just bashed him on the ground and he died with the protruding eyes. And all the other children were so surprised. Krishna, how did you find out? He was among these calves. How did you find out? But Krishna only laughed. Actually, who was this Vatsasura? Vatsasura, in his previous birth, he was a demon. His name was Pramila, and he was the son of another demon, Muru. At that time, he had a very strong body, and one day he went to Vasishta Muni's ashrama. There he saw the Nandini cow. He saw and he wanted to have that cow. So what he did was he changed his form and appeared like a Brahmana. And he went inside the ashrama and requested Vasishta Rishi to give this Nandini. But Vasishta Rishi, he was a great seer, isn't it? He found out that he is an Ashura, but he did not tell anything. But Nandini, he got angry. That cow got angry and she said, what? You are going to cheat my master? For this, you will become a calf and you will appear as a calf. And then again, as usual, that Ashura requested Nandini, please forgive me. And Nandini said, in this Manmantra, when Krishna touch you, when that Bhagavan touch you, you will be relieved from your sin. And like that, Bhagavan touched this calf and he was relieved from all his sins. So that was the story of Vatsasura. And days went on like this. They all were happy. They all were playing with Krishna. And Krishna was also playing with all the Gopastris. And they were all very happy. One day what happened was, again Krishna along with the calves and cowhead boys, they were playing on the banks of river Yamuna. And one crane came there. It had a very long beak and it didn't have any feathers. It came near that river and that crane was drinking water, at times staring at Krishna, drinking water, staring at Krishna. Suddenly it came near Krishna and swallowed him. And this completely paralyzed all his friends. What to do? They were shouting like this, Krishna, come out, somehow come out, but nothing could be done. Suddenly, that crane vomited and Krishna came out. What happened then was, Krishna went inside and the crane felt as if it swallowed a fireball and it could not bear that heat, so it spit it out. And Krishna he was released. Again, it saw Krishna and it wanted to kill Krishna. He was an Ashura, he was Bakasura. And he came running near him and opened its beak and began to attack Krishna with its beak, tried to attack Krishna with its beak. But what happened was, Krishna, he pulled the beak apart and hurled it, and Bakasura died. Who was this Bakasura? Bakasura, again, he was a demon. He was a demon in his previous birth, and his name was Utkala. His name was Utkala, and that demon came near Jajali Muni's ashrama. Jajali Muni's ashrama was in that place where the river Ganga flow into the sea, that place. So there will be many fishes and all that, but that Muni will not like anyone catching fish there. But this demon, he came and he took he grabbed some fish and he began to eat it. So Muni got very angry. What? Like a crane, you are eating the fish from this area? It is my area, so how dare you come here and disturb the fish here? Like that, he scolded him and he gave Sharp a curse that you will become a crane. Again, the demon requested, give me some excuse from it. And he said, in the Vaibhaswata Manvantra, when Bhagavan Krishna, that is when Bhagavan Krishna in the Dwapara Yuga, towards the end of Dwapara Yuga, when Bhagavan Vishnu take avatara as Sri Krishna, he will touch you and he will kill you. So you will be released from that shapa, that Muni said. So from then on, this demon, he is roaming here and there in the form of a crave. So he was also released from that shapa. And some days passed on happily. All these incidents will be reported to their parents immediately. Then and that day itself, these children, they will come home and report all these incidents to their parents. So the parents, the senior Gopasad, what can we do here? Also the same Ashura attack. So what can we do? They were worried, but they could not do anything, no? So they immediately, these children will come and tell all these incidents to their parents, and everyone know about this attack of all these demons. So days passed down like this. One day what happened was, Krishna wanted to have lunch in the woodlands. That is in the woodlands of Vrindavana. And he wanted to take lunch with him the next day. So he asked all his boys, friends to prepare lunch in the early morning itself so they can bring the lunch and have fun there. They can play there for till evening. Usually these children, they will go back home for during that lunchtime. So that day what they decided was, we will stay here. At that time, Krishna was also 5 years of age, and all these calves, they were under his control. So we can play here till the evening or late in the afternoon. After that, we can go home. So they all decided. So the next morning, Krishna got up very early itself, and he woke up all the children by blowing his trumpet and flute, everything. All the children and their mothers were also woke up. They woke up their mother, and they prepared food. Most of them, they prepared curd rice only with some pickles and chips like that. So they all took lunch to the forest area where there were so many green pastures along with the cows. There were nearly 1,000 cows at that time. So Rama, Krishna, the friends, and 1,000 cows, they all walked happily to the forest area. And they were all grazing there. All the cows were grazing there, and these children were playing with their catapults, flower balls, and all that. All the childhood plays, they were playing hide and seek game, and that frog leaping, that game, everything they were playing. And suddenly, an Ashura watched them from behind the bush. They did not notice it, but Krishna noticed it. Who was this Ashura? Actually, he was Aghasura, who was the brother of Purana and Bakasura. So to take revenge, he wanted to actually kill Krishna. Every demon wanted to kill Krishna only. He was watching all these children and Krishna and all the cows playing, and he was waiting for the right moment to swallow Krishna. So he took the form of a python, a big snake, and he was opening its mouth and waiting behind the bush. So all these children and the calves, everyone, they were in a playful mood only. They saw this python, but what they thought was, can a python be this big? So it cannot be python. So like that they said, and they were playing, and he entered in the mouth of the python. And all the calves also followed them. But that Ashura, he did not close his mouth there because he wanted to swallow Krishna. He was waiting for Krishna to enter it. So Krishna understood it, and he entered in the mouth of the python. And the python closed its mouth. What Krishna did was, he grew big in size, and that blocked the air passage of that python. So with the protruding eyes, he could not breathe, isn't it? He was suffocating. The python was suffocating. He rolled here and there with the protruding eyes. He died and at last opened its mouth. And the skulls, these boys, and Krishna also came out. When Krishna came out and when the python died, what everyone saw was some light. It merged with Krishna. So who was this Aghasura? Actually, in the previous Janma, in his previous birth, he was the son of Shankashuda. And then also his name was Agha. He was the son of Shankashuda, and he was very handsome, very strong, and he was a demon also. And what happened was one day he went to the foothills of Malaya hills, and there Ashtavakra sage was there meditating. So he saw Ashtavakra sage. Ashtavakra sage means he will have 8 bends on his body, but he was a great jnani, the teacher of Janaka Maharaj itself. So he laughed at that sage because he had a very beautiful form, very strong form, son of Shankasura. He laughed at him. So Ashtavakra Rishi gave him a curse that you will become a snake. You will be a snake till Krishna touch you, you will be in that form itself, said Ashtavakra Rishi. So from that moment itself, he became a snake. And now he was released, and that's why that luminous light merged with Krishna. So these were all some of the great attacks done by the demon on Bhagavan Krishna at a very young age itself. However, this incident was reported to the parents of the boys only after 1 year. That is, this incident happened in the 5th year when Krishna was 5 years of age. It was reported only when Krishna was 6 years of age. So the boys went to their house only after 1 year. How? Why? So after this Python incident, what happened was Krishna said, Atra bhoktavyamasmabhir dhivarudham shudhatitaha vatsaha samipeyapaha pitva charantu shanagaistranam. He said, we are all very hungry now. It is late afternoon. We came to play and have food here. But all this incident happened. So no problem. We will have food now. It is very late in the afternoon and we are all very hungry. Let that cows graze near that Yamuna river so they can drink water and eat the grass also. So let us all have food, like this Krishna said. And Krishna sat in the middle and in the center, and all the cowherd boys, they sat around him in a circle, just like a circle. They all opened their lunch boxes and they took their plate, and they all began to share with each other. Almost every one of them brought curd rice only, but each one's curd rice was entirely different. So Krishna also gave one ball of rice to all those friends, and all the friends also gave one ball of rice to Krishna also. So they were all exchanging rice balls. And when one of his friends gave a rice ball with that pickle chips, everything on top of it, and Krishna that just got that ball of rice in his hand. At that time, he just saw around. No calls were there. They all disappeared. So he said to his friends, what happened to these calves? Where did they go? They saw none of them were there. All of them disappeared. So the friends said, okay, Krishna, you eat. We will go and see. But Krishna said, no, you all eat. I will go and see. Like this, he tucked that flute in his waistcloth, between the abdomen and waistcloth. He tucked the flute. He was having that staff to herd the calves that he held in his left armpit, and that trumpet also in his armpit. And he walked around with the ball of rice to everywhere, to the inside the forest, to the caves, to the top of the mountain. Nowhere they could not. All the calves disappeared. They were not there. So he came back to tell this to his friends, and he saw the friends were also not there. They also disappeared. Actually, what happened was, it was the play of Lord Brahma. What Brahma thought was, can this be Krishna? Can this be Mahavishnu? He was leading such a simple life. And I want to test the Maya power of this child also. Is it really Krishna or someone else? So I wanted to test his power, divine power, like this Lord Brahma thought, and he made all the calves and the children disappear from that place. And he made, that is Lord Brahma made, to stay all of them on a magical mat so that they were not conscious about anything and they disappeared from this place. And Krishna, with the ball of rice in his hand, he was wondering and he understood that it is the play of Lord Brahma. And what he did was, he took form as this cowhead voice and this calves and everything, as the playful instruments, everything. He took form as this. Actually, this is the practical illustration of Sarvam Vishnumayam. Everything is Vishnu. This is the practical example for this. He appeared as the cowherd boys, he appeared as the calves, he appeared as the playing things, everything, he appeared as that. So again, there was another set of cowherd boys, all that calves, that play things, everything. And in the evening, Krishna in the form of the cowherd boys, Krishna in the form of the calves, they all went back to the Vrindavana. And these cowhead boys, that is the Krishna in the form of cowhead boys, they entered their respective house. And Krishna in the form of the calf, he was tied in that cow shed. Just imagine what punya these gopikas have done to see Bhagavan in their cow shed, to see Bhagavan as their own son. So he appeared like this and he stayed with them. And every day he will come back to the woodlands to graze the cow. Again, he will go back. This happened for nearly 1 year. No one understood that this is Krishna in the form of their children, or this is Krishna in the form of their cow and the calves. No one understood this. But suddenly some change happened in Vrindavan. All these mothers were so fond of their own son. Usually the practice is they will be fond they'll be fond of Krishna. But now what happened was, they are so fond of their own children, and these cows they are so fond of their own calves instead of being lovable to Krishna. And Balarama watched all this. Something is going on, he found out, because he had tremendous intelligence, isn't it? He is the spiritual power of Bhagavan. He understood something, but he cannot guess anything. One day, they all were herding this calves and going to the forest, green pastures, towards the green pastures. And many of the cows were there grazing on the Govardhana hill. Suddenly, when they moved, these cows, they just ran, came back, and they just licked their calves, and they fed the calves like this. And Rama was so shocked. How is it they didn't come near Krishna and they were going towards the calves? Because that calves is also Krishna. This no one understood. And he also remembered that all these mothers were so fond of their own children instead of being fond of Krishna, because that was the practice earlier. So he asked Krishna, Krishna, something is going on tricky here. So what is it? Please tell me. So what was the trick? What Krishna said to Rama, we will continue and we will see in the next upload. Om Namo Narayana Khila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. Om Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.